Yeah. Welcome back, everybody, to our show. This month especially hits home for a lot of us men out there. We are the podcast that shatters the silence on men's mental health. We are unedited, unfiltered, and as always, we are going raw. My name is Joey.
And I'm Eric, and we're your hosts, and welcome to Raw Minds. It's a big month, buddy. Big
It is a
month.
big month, man, and that's exactly why we are doing this show.
Yeah, man.
And I don't think, well, part of the reason why we're doing it is because it's not talked about enough.
Yeah.
And this month is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month. I mean, it should be every day.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, it's people don't realize how hard it is out there, especially for men on the weights that we carry, the day to day, like that backpack we always talk about. It's it's a struggle, man, every day. Trying
Definitely,
to be
dude.
the best husband, the best supporter, the best dad,
Worker,
the best
everything.
worker, just making sure your rent's paid,
Provider.
food,
Yeah.
provide everything, man.
Yeah.
It's a day-to-day ongoing struggle,
Yeah.
and but at least they're and we're trying to bring more awareness to this as it's a killer. It really is.
Yeah, man. Well, like, here, just to put this out there for people that don't know and educate a little bit. Men are 4 times more likely to commit suicide, making nearly about 80% of all suicides. So I mean, that's 80%.
That's a big number, man.
Yeah. I mean, we carry a lot on our shoulders, man. And like 40% of men have never spoken to anybody about it, and their mental health and never dealt with it or reached out to anybody.
Well, it's because you're a man.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Then you're fucking weak if you talk about your feelings and your problems.
Yeah.
And then when you openly admit it as a man, I've had to do, and the feeling that I had, you feel like a failure.
Mhm.
You feel like not only you let yourself down, but you're feeling like you let everyone around you down, your
Yeah.
family, your wife, your kids.
Exactly.
So you
Exactly.
don't want to admit that you're struggling. You don't want to admit that financially you're not where you want to be. You don't want to admit that your job makes you miserable.
Yep. You just put your
Or
head down and keep on working because you got to pay those bills and take care of yourself and your family, man. A lot of men just do that, right? They don't look for the best in their like what they want to do. Like I always say, man, if you're doing it wrong, I mean, if you're not happy, you're doing it wrong. You got to take care of yourself like that.
million percent, man.
Yeah.
And I get it. And I see even single mothers, same. They work their ass off. They do the best that they can, and they do a really good job. But while they're doing it, and especially as the men, is we are struggling so bad, and we are falling apart piece by piece internally.
Yeah.
And every day we put on fake smiles, thinking that everything's okay.
Yeah.
Yet we fail to take care of ourselves because we're trying so hard to take care of everyone else.
Yeah. It's true. We put on like that cape, man, and just, try to be Superman, I guess you could say, or whatever. But at the end of the day, let's face it, you're taking care of everybody else. Who the hell's gonna take care of you, man? You got to look out for yourself. You got to put yourself first. Sometimes like I mean, I'm telling you right now, it's okay to burn bridges. It really is, man. Fucking pour gasoline on that shit and let it burn. Who gives a shit, man? It's all about you. I mean, don't be disrespectful, but I mean, look out for number one, man. That's what it's about.
And we got to learn to stop setting ourselves on fire just to keep other people warm.
Yeah, no
You know what
doubt.
I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Like, and we do it every day, especially as the hardworking man, the blue collar guy. Well, whatever job you do,
Yeah,
is the men that try, the
yeah,
men that give a shit, the men that want to be good dads, that try to be good dads. that want to give their wives and girlfriends everything that they want, but a lot of us are not in that position to do so, and it kills us, it breaks us.
Yeah. It's
And
true.
I struggle with that, and a lot of my failed relationships in the past was because of me, but because in my own mind I felt basically like a loser, that I couldn't give them what they wanted, because and I would just shut down and break down because I was struggling, feeling like I wasn't doing enough.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I probably was, but I didn't feel like that, and most men don't.
You're battling yourself, bro, is what you're doing, man. You're literally fighting yourself in your own mind.
That's exactly it, and that's what we do. Is
Yeah.
we fight constantly with ourselves, thinking that it's not good enough, thinking that, well, if I admit that I'm struggling, then my wife's gonna leave me or think differently of me, or my kids won't look up to me.
Hmm.
And a big part of that too is your ego as well, right?
Yeah. You got to kill that shit, man.
One of the best piece of advice I ever got was kill your ego.
Yeah.
And that's the hardest thing to do, is kill your ego.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'll tell you that, because everything we do is based on ego,
Yeah.
but it's it's definitely, it's hard, man. It
Yeah.
really is. And even coming from everywhere that we came from, and to overcome a lot of that, and the traumas don't go away. The anxiety still comes and goes. We're human beings. It's human emotion. You're gonna have sad days. You're gonna have you know what I mean? But
Fucking rights, man. But it's
even
okay.
coming, even to get through the years of trauma and abuse that we've gotten through, doesn't mean it's like life is just sunshines and rainbows.
Hmm.
You know, you're just able to be more clear, or have that clarity in your day to day, to be more present. And we
Yeah.
talked about this a lot in the past, and that's the biggest thing, right?
Hmm.
And everyone always says, I just want to be happy. I just want to be happy. But happiness is not a destination to strive for, to be honest with you. It's something to be found in the present moment,
Yeah. Definitely.
right? And
Definitely.
that's the thing, is because you have today and that's it. And everyone, like myself and a lot of the guys out there, is we get so worried and beat ourselves up over the future
Y-
or something that's happened in the past, and we all do it. It's either one or the other, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But finding that happiness and that contentment is in today, because that's all there is today. But because of all the things that's happened to us in our lives, and the heartbreaks and the abuse and family loss, like, and we carry that, so you're always sitting on the past, which is why everyone lives in this state of depression all the time, because
Yeah.
they don't know how to deal with that. And as a man, well, you're supposed to be a man. So I'm not going to talk about it. I'm just going to put my head down and just keep going to work. Well, day by day, you're falling apart.
Yeah.
Instead of taking those bricks out of that backpack that we carry every day, we just keep adding to them, and especially as men.
It's true, man. And then, like not having like an outlet to, you know, to really like having a release, it can fuck you up as well, man. You need that release as men. Like we need our time alone or to hang out with the guys or do something like that. Like you need to have that time, because it's we're pack animals. At the end of the day, we're pack animals, man. Human beings. We have partners, we have friends. You need to consolidate in the people around you. And if they don't, like, oh, suck it up, then they're not fucking homies, man. It's surround yourself with the people that are gonna bring you up in life. If you walk into a room and you're the smartest man in that room, you're in the wrong room. You know, you want to learn from people and have people be there to, boost you up in life, not tear you down.
Yeah, and you also got to be careful too, though, on who you share your struggles and emotions with. Because if you
Definitely.
share them to the wrong people, man, it's like bleeding next to a shark.
Yeah.
right?
Oh yeah.
So, but the biggest thing is spreading that awareness, not just for this month. We do this every week. We do, and it's
Yeah.
going to continue every month.
Yeah.
Is to let guys know that you have to be able to talk about what's going on with you and reach out and look yourself in the mirror, admit that you're wrong or that you've done wrong or that you need help. And like we've said numerous times, man, it's the hardest thing to do is to take accountability, look at yourself, and really break down what's going on internally.
Yeah.
But I promise you that if you're able to do that through that short term of, you know, pain and accountability and that anxiety and stress that it causes you, once you can get over that hurdle and that hump, man, I tell you, you'll feel ways that you never thought possible.
And lighter, man. Your shoulders will
And
drop.
just so much lighter. The backpack that we carry every day when you leave your house, you're always gonna wear it. A man is always gonna wear that backpack full of bricks.
Yeah.
No matter what. No matter how good your life is, he's carrying some weight on his back. But to get to a place where that weight doesn't hurt you, or that weight is, like you said, just becomes lighter and lighter,
Mhm.
where even though you're still carrying that weight, you don't even notice it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to go back to, like you said, the suicide rate at four times higher,
Yeah, man.
that's because they couldn't carry that weight anymore.
Yeah.
They buckled. It took them down. They collapsed.
Mhm. And I
And they
understand it, man, you know? Sometimes you just get pushed to that point. I don't condone it, you know? I don't wanna see anybody take their life, but I mean, fuck, me and you were there, bro. You know, I understand it. I understand to the point where, you know, you just want the pain to stop, and it's hard, you know? And you think that that's your only option. I just got crazy goosebumps. But it's
yeah, man,
it's
it was
it's true, man.
oh, dude, like you said, we know it.
Yeah.
I've tried to take my life
Yeah.
twice, you know, and to be looking back in that headspace, man, like I
Yeah.
sympathize if you guys are going through this right now. All I can tell you is it's the most painful, and you feel lonely, like no one's there.
Mhm.
But if you're able to push and give yourself another day, and then when you wake up the next day, give yourself another day,
Yeah.
because once you be able to come out of that, because it is temporary, 100% it is.
Yeah.
But it's also, how long are you going to stay feeling like that, which is totally up to you.
Yeah.
And again, I sympathize because there's a lot of things that's happened in my life, and a lot of, you know, the stories that we've been told and other people, and the horrendous and traumatic things that happens to people, that you don't get over that in a month.
No.
And there's no way with a lot of these, you know, but
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
it's figuring out how to get out of that as fast as possible. You know, reaching out, talking to somebody, you know, like you just said, you surround yourself with people that bring you up.
Yeah, man.
You want to hang around a circle that motivates you, that supports you. And
Yeah.
if none of them do that, you're not even in a circle, you're in a cage.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're gonna stay locked up in that cage for a very long
Yeah.
time
Those motherfuckers will be poking you with fucking sharp sticks, man. You know? Just egging you on with, like, stupid shit. Not
by the
bringing you up.
people you by the people you surround yourself with. Is you could give yourself a life sentence.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Locked up in that cage.
Yeah.
So it's finding the right people, the supportive people, you know, and it's a lonely, it's definitely when you're trying to come out of that state of suicidal tendencies and depression, man, it is lonely as hell.
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
know, so, and you feel, and some people don't understand you. and you don't feel that anybody will get it. And there'll be so many people like, well, just suck it up, man. Just tough it up. And that's what a lot of us men get, and that's why we don't talk,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is because we're men. That's well, I'm not telling my buddies that I cried last night because I miss this girl or whatever it is, or it doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
We hide our emotions. We don't talk about it. We don't. It's just what men don't do, and that's the biggest problem. And if men started to really lose that ego, look past, you know, certain things to be able to be like, you know what, I'm just tired. I'm tired of feeling like this because you don't want to get to that point. Trust me, where, you know, you had that last brick and you're no longer here.
Yeah, man.
Right. And that's why we're doing what we do is to try to help you guys listening and people, even some girls are listening too, is to help you guys try to relieve some of that weight of that backpack. We're not doctors, we're not psychiatrists, but we have lived since I was 5 years old with child abuse to losing a son, suicide attempts, you name it, we've lived it. And it's not that we're bragging, but because we've lived that, we understand it. So when you guys are feeling the way that you feel and you've gone through the things that you've gone through, we can sympathize with that.
Well, we want to show that you're not alone. A
A
lot of these
million percent.
a lot of these guys out there, they're dealing with their issues and traumas and whatever mess that they're in, because it's fucking messy. And you know a lot of guys think that it's only happening to them, but it's happening to not just women or men, but women too, right? And this is why we do this, to show that you're not alone, and it's okay to reach out and talk. But on that note about reaching out and talking, I think, what about that letter that we got here
Uh,
for
oh, for the men?
the men, buddy? I think it's a good time to push that out there, and uh
Yeah,
we're here.
myself and Eric, we want to just say something real quick for you guys out there, since especially, even though it's a men's mental health show, but I think this was fitting for tonight because it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yeah, we'll start off with a banger.
Yeah, so we want to read something this one's just for the men. Dear men, we are sorry. We are sorry you tried so desperately to fix others when your own hands were shaking. We are sorry you didn't give yourself enough time to heal. We are sorry you healed the wounds of everyone else while your own were bleeding. We are sorry that there were days where smiling hurt, but you forced yourself to laugh so that nobody had to worry about you. We are sorry that you gave all the time and effort to the people that didn't give the same amount back. We are sorry that there were nights that you cried yourself to sleep and no one bothered to understand why. We are sorry you did not love yourself like the way you deserved.
It's true, man. A lot of guys out there, like we said, they're holding all this in, man, and they've never really, even theirself, like, apologize to themselves as well, man, for treating themselves bad that way, because they're not putting themselves first. You need to put yourself first to take care of yourself. And
Well,
when we say that, it's like health, all that. I'm not saying like if you got a wife, that's your ride or die, definitely. But I mean, you still need to take care of yourself. Like we've said before, you're on an airplane, you're gonna go down or whatever the situation is. Oxygen mask drop. You're gonna put it on yourself first before you put it on your kid. Because say you put that mask on your kid, then boom, you're passed out, you're done. You got to take care of yourself in order to help others. So
and that's the biggest thing that people don't realize is
yeah,
that you have to be number one.
yeah,
And people with kids, especially, oh, kids are number one. Yeah, they are. I have kids. You have kids. 1,000,000%. I would die for my children. I love them to death. But if I'm not right, if I'm fucked up, how can I be the best parent for those kids? How
Yeah.
can I be the best husband for my wife or boyfriend, whatever? How it's not possible.
No.
And a lot of people do is that because they make sure their kids are all good, and that's amazing. That's great, as you should. But at the same time, they are depressed, they're sad, they're broken, they're lonely, and they're not doing things to give themselves life,
Yeah.
because in their mind, I got to just do this for them. I got to just do this for my wife and just for my kids. But man, like if you do not take care of yourself first, you have to,
It's true, man.
because you can't be the best version of yourself if you don't take care of yourself. And if you don't take care of yourself, you're going to miss so many things in your day to day with your children. Because I missed a lot. And it wasn't time with them, it was the time spent with them
Mhm.
and the time spent with your wife and your family, because you were not present. It's the time that you will lose on your day to day because you are so shattered and just feel so lost. And all you feel, instead of being present with the people around you and the people that love you and trying to be happy in the moment, all you're focused on is the weight that you're carrying on your back. That's it. So until you can go out and do your best to focus on you first, then sorry, you have to go out and focus on you first. So you are able to be present, to have that clarity. And like I said earlier, it's finding the happiness in the present moment.
Yeah. Well, here's the deal, man. Here's the deal. You don't know what the hell is going to happen at any moment in time. As soon as you step out your door, or even at home, you could have a heart attack. You have no idea what's going to happen. You hope shit doesn't going to happen, but you have no idea. For example, this is a big month for me. Not only is it Men's Mental Health Month, not only is it Father's Day, but this month, my fiance, it's the 1 year anniversary on Father's Day. But this year it's Father because it was a leap year, so Father's Day is on 2 days before.
After her passing.
Yeah, but last year she passed on Father's Day. You know, that's a prime example. You don't know what's going to happen. You need to take care of yourself. You wanna be down all the time. You need to put in this work. You gotta fucking kick ass, man. You wanna live depressed? Is that fun? Is that a real way to live? Fuck no, man. You need to put in the work and fix yourself, especially if you have kids. Time is the most valuable thing in this world. You can never get time back. It's the most valuable. And we are on borrowed time right here, you know? So don't waste it, man. Don't waste it. That's probably the biggest thing in life that people do is they waste it.
Well, and the sad thing to go with that is that we don't have much time.
That's what I mean. We're on borrowed time and there's
Uh,
not much. Yeah.
we really don't.
What's that movie? And it's like time or something and they got it on their hand. You ever watch it? I
Oh,
think Leonardo
no, it
DiCaprio
was
is it?
Justin Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake, that's right.
It was called In Time.
In time, that's right. As soon as
Yeah,
that time runs out, that's it.
yeah, they're clocked out. They're dead.
Yeah. and you work, and that's how you get paid is time. That's crazy. But I mean, it's true in a sense, man. That it is true. Every day you're running out of time. Every second is a second, a millisecond off your life. Do fucking something with it, man. Do something with your life.
And that's the thing is a lot of people think they have the time.
Yeah,
Everyone, and we hope everyone does, but everyone thinks that, oh, I still got years till I retire, then I'll do that, and like,
yeah.
and you have no idea.
No,
I actually seen something today that kind of goes with what we're talking about. And the guy said, he's like, you know what? If a doctor told you you had 6 months to live, how would you live your life? You would live for you.
yeah,
The best way you possibly knew how was 6 months to live. And dealing with bullshit and stress would be at the very bottom. Like you would not even entertain it.
no fucks given, bro.
Like the
Yeah,
arguments, the pointless stresses, like that wouldn't even be on your radar. It's like,
no,
why don't you live like that? Live because most people don't live for themselves.
no,
It's your life. Live it how you want to live it, not how other people want to live it.
yeah,
And that's why most people live in a constant state of depression is because they're always living for other people. They're not living for themselves, man.
no,
They're worried about other people, what they think, and like, dude, like, and I was like that for a long time. But you know what? Now I realize it's just like it doesn't matter what you say, what you do. Someone's gonna say something. Someone's gonna hate on it. So it doesn't matter, man.
yeah,
Just do you. Be the best possible version of yourself that you can. And every day is work. Whether you're where we used to be on almost committing suicide to being in a good place is every day is a constant battle and a constant should be a constant drive of being better than you were the day before.
mm-hmm.
Like it's life. It doesn't end. Like it's a constant struggle and it's constant work. Question is how much work do you want to put into yourself to live the best life that you can,
That's what it's about, right? Just
right?
basically.
Anyone that lives in that victim mentality and I'm this way because this happened to me 10 years ago, man, just stop.
No,
Seriously, just stop.
no time
Like
for that shit, man.
nobody cares. And when I say that, it's not that nobody cares, but nobody cares to hear that when it's only up to you. No matter what happens in your life, it's all how you take that and what you do with that going forward. And it's
Mm-hmm.
some of these things are the hardest things you've ever had to deal with, and it changes you, and it's hard as hell.
It's
But
true.
eh, regardless of how hard it is and whatever it is that you're dealing with, it's still up to you because nobody's coming to save you.
Mm-hmm.
There's no knight in shining armor. There's no someone's gonna knock on your door and magically it goes away. It's what you do with that moving forward.
It's the lesson, man. You gotta find the lesson, like we say, right?
Right.
Level up,
So
man. Level up.
it's all about leveling up.
Yep.
And every day you gotta level up as best that you can, right? But
Yeah,
again,
man.
when you're in that place in that that dark room and you feel those suicidal thoughts and the sadness and the loneliness is just know that there are better days on the other end, I promise you.
Mm-hmm.
And when you feel like that, you never think that you'll come out of that, but if you put in the work, I promise you you will.
It's true, man. Um. So I just want to bring up as well. We have two messages we got from two separate people.
Oh
One,
yes, we had someone send us a message, and
which one you want to do? You want to do yours, or you want to do the other one? Well, not yours, but do you want to do like? You know
No,
what?
the one that I got here,
Yeah.
we use an alias name and we'll go by Jason. But you know, we get a lot of people that reach out to us, and another reason we do the show is to let you guys know, especially if you're new listening to the show, that we're here for you.
Yeah.
You know, if you need to talk and you got nobody, reach out to us. You know, rawmindspodcast at gmail.com any day, any night. Social media, we'll answer you, we'll help you.
Before you start that too, though, I just want to put it out there. We talked to this guy a couple times, and we asked for permission to post this up here. So it's not like you send us something and we're gonna just throw it up. We will ask for permission to make sure, so you're okay with it as well. So just
Oh,
want to put that out there.
million percent. You know, and reading this,
Yeah.
it really hit home for both of us actually because
Yeah.
we've experienced this.
Definitely, man.
And we just want to say thank you for Jason for reaching out to us.
Yeah.
And but Jason, he's you know, our hearts go to you right now. He reached out and told us, he said that my cousin committed suicide 2 weeks ago, and I don't know what to do. I'm just numb all the time. He was my best friend, and I miss him so much. I just kind of want to die because I can't deal with this anymore.
Mm-hmm.
That's heavy shit, man.
Very heavy, man. Um.
And
Yeah. I feel for him, bro. I mean, 3 years ago, I lost my best friend, and then my dog, and then my fiance. So I feel for him. You feel lost. It's fuck. I feel, but like I said, I might sound like an asshole, but I mean, people die. It's true. It's true. We're all gonna die. It's just a matter of not sitting in that for a long time because you're just gonna drive yourself crazy. Go through the emotions, and then just have acknowledgement that the person's gone.
well, and like you said, and you know, my heart goes out to you, Jason, man, because
Yeah.
you know I've been there. You know, one of my best high school friends. It was my mom's favorite. He hung himself in his closet,
Hmm.
and he had a wife and 2 kids,
It's hard, man.
and it's extremely difficult. You know,
Yeah.
and that kind of goes back. You know, we've talked about this too. Is you know when you're in that state of mind where you feel like you can't live another day. And for some people, in Jason's case, and for other people that actually go through with it and unalive themselves, you know, we've talked about this a lot too in the past of that butterfly effect on the effects it has on the people around you, on the decision that you make to
Hmm.
do that, and the people that love you and what you leave behind because what you're choosing not to deal with by doing that, you have now just left that for your family and for your children
Yeah.
to deal with. You know, and reading Jason's letter here, like that was his best friend and his family,
Mm.
and he's numb. He just feels like he wants to die
Yeah.
because he can't take that pain. You know, and he's the shrapnel to that grenade, you know, hitting him.
Just one of the pieces, definitely.
Just
Yeah.
one of the pieces, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now Jason doesn't feel like he should be here anymore because of how much that hurts him.
Yeah.
And he's not the one that made that decision. He didn't choose for that to happen.
Yeah. Exactly. And
So
it's
when you're
so.
when you're in that place, as hard as it is, you got to remember that there's people that do love you. When you think they don't, they do.
Mhm.
There's somebody out there that you have touched their lives and you don't even know it.
Yeah.
You know, so it's really hard to keep in mind when all you're focused on is not wanting to live
Hmm.
because you're in so much pain and you wake up you wake up crying. I remember just as soon as I woke up, I was already crying. Man, it's terrible.
Well,
And
what? Well, I was at to the point where I couldn't. You know, like that's the thing. Like I couldn't. As much as I wish I could, I just couldn't. I don't know if it was like my I don't know if I just cried too much to the point where I just couldn't, but like I wanted to. I wanted to like have that release when Jules passed away, you know? But it was just I don't know. It's it
there you
hits
go.
you.
It's like
it-
you go numb.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what happened. Well, you know, man, like I said, we said before, like you'd be sitting beside me and I wouldn't say anything. We just sit there. I'd tell you, I don't even know what to say, man. You might as well just go home. I don't know what to say. Like I don't want you to just sit here while I'm grieving and just staring off into the bliss, fighting my own thoughts and memories and everything in my head, right? But you did, and thank you. But it's
But even when, like, when in your where you were at that time, and then anyone that's had to deal with something like yourself, is it is extremely hard not to, or to think of other people, and not in a bad way,
hmm
or to think of anything else,
hmm
because you're in such a broken mind state that that's obviously all you can think of. As you
exactly.
know, we're human. That's the emotion.
Yeah.
So even with the people that are where we used to be, where we couldn't even lift our heads anymore and try to take our own life, you're not thinking about, the aftermath.
No.
You're not thinking. You might think of your family or your children, but that that depressive, broken state overpowers anything, that whether it's family, your children, or anything.
hmm
Just like with drug addicts, right? That the drugs is taking over their life. It doesn't matter who's around, or if they have kids. That's just they're lost into that addiction.
hmm
Just like when you're that depressed and suicidal, like, you're lost in that mind state.
Buddy, I couldn't fucking see anything. It was I couldn't see anything, bro. Anything. I was lost. You're right. It felt like I was in a round circle looking for the square corner or the corner. You know what I mean? Like I I I was I can't even explain it, man. You know? There's grief is messed up. I mean, we talked about the stages and stuff. And it was hitting me all left and right, different ways, right? Different stages would come. It just doesn't go into that order. And it was lost because at one moment, I was accepting it and then angry. Like it was kind of bouncing back and forth because I was stuck in the middle of it. And then mind you too, I was getting attacked. I felt I was getting attacked anyways. But it's just death is hard, man. Like I don't know. I'm a little bit different around it though. You know, growing up, I watched all my family members die from the age of 5 to 18. I watched them take their last breaths. I've lost over 40 people in my life. My whole Facebook is rest in peace of friends. I lost my best friend, my dog I had for 13 years, my fiance, my really good friend. Like it's nonstop. It's hard, but all I can really say is go through the emotions and understand that it's a part of life. We're all gonna die. It just sucks that it happens, and it sucks in the ways that it happens. But when you can understand and realize that death is imminent or whatever the fuck the word is, it's gonna happen, man. And you just gotta try to be okay with it as best as possible. As hard it is. And the hardest thing about it, death is forever. And that's the thing that just is the hardest part. Is that shit is forever, and forever is forever. Everything just turns to a memory.
Yeah, that's the hardest part, man, because they're not here in the flesh anymore. They're
Yeah.
not coming to Christmas dinner. They're
Nothing.
not celebrating the birthdays anymore. It's
Yeah.
so with what Jason's dealing with, man. I'm truly sorry for that because to lose your cousin, especially a death by choice,
Yeah.
that's a
Yeah.
hard pill to swallow. Not because he got an illness or you know what I mean. It's
Yeah.
like
Suffering. He was
he
suffering.
he was suffering to the
Yeah.
point where he didn't want to wake up anymore.
Yeah, man. I feel that, bro.
And and man, there was I don't know how many days where I just wanted to go to sleep and never wake up again.
Yeah.
I prayed. I'm not even religious, and I prayed
Yeah.
to just not let me wake up tomorrow.
Man, I'll tell you this: everybody's religious when it comes to the end. You know what I mean? At the really, you say I don't believe in God, but when it's coming to that end or something's bad's happened, man, everybody's on their knees with their hands in a praying position. I'll tell you that.
And reaching out to God
Whatever,
or whatever they think.
whatever. Yeah.
But
Wow.
yeah, I didn't myself at that back then, man. I didn't want I didn't want to wake up,
I hear you. Um,
you know. But
it's getting usually close to our episodes are about an hour here, but you think we got one more? You want me to incorporate uh
yeah,
that other one there?
let's hear it. Let's hear what
Okay, let me see here. Let me pull it up. Um. Okay, so this is from John Doe. Uh, I'll just skip the little bit. He's talking about when we're gonna drop our merch. Your podcast really hits home. Blah, blah. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Growing up, things were pretty messed up. I lived with my grandpa, and he was real piece of work. He used to beat me and treat me like I was nothing. I was just a kid, but I felt like I was carrying the weight of the world. It messed me up pretty bad, and it took me a long time to start getting my head straight. And then he says, "Your podcast has been a big part of that for me. The stories you share and the way that you talk about dealing with tough times, it's like therapy. It helps me make sense of things and keeps me going. I can't thank you enough for that." Well, that's oh, here's another one here. So, keep on doing what you're doing. You're making a difference and it means a lot to people like me. Can't wait for the next episode. And the sweet merch, he says. Well, thank you, John Doe. You know who you are. Um,
yeah, and we
means
tell
a
people
lot.
all the time that reach out, they don't feel comfortable giving their name, and
Yeah,
then that's okay.
yeah, yeah.
It's taking a step by reaching out for help.
That's the biggest step, man. That's true strength, bro. You
To
know?
kind of go by, you know, from what he said about his grandfather beating him
Yeah,
and the abuse that he suffered and really messed him up.
yeah.
Obviously, we all know that no child should ever deal with that ever,
Fuck no.
ever.
No.
And myself personally, I was abused physically and sexually when I was a little kid. And, when I heard him say that about his grandfather, now my grandparents growing up, I loved them to death. The way they were as grandparents or grandfather, I should say. The way my grandfather was compared to how he was as a dad was two different things.
Mm-hmm.
Now I suffered the abuse from different people as a child, but when he mentioned the grandfather, I remember when I was like 5 years old and my grandfather and my dad would get into legit fistfights. And I remember to this day walking in and witnessing, my dad getting bottled by his own father.
Mhm.
and fist fighting and grandma screaming and crying in the kitchen and my dad sitting in a bathtub while I pulled glass out of his back. Now this is something that I witnessed, but the things that children witness on the day to day is it's there's no way any child should ever witness those things or have to deal with
Mhm.
any form of abuse, period. You're a child.
Yeah, man. It's
And
fucked up.
anyone that puts their hands on a child, you're a fucking coward.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the way these and like he just said in that letter that he sent us is that it really messed him up and for years. Like a
Definitely,
lot of
man.
us, some people don't even get over that ever.
I could
You
totally
know,
relate with that. I used to get beat as a child all the time. All the time. I used to get beat when I was a kid to make me stronger. Well, my old man would come home drunk, wake me up when I'm sleeping and fucking toss me around, you know? He buddy, for my 13th birthday, this guy, my old man, gave me a metal pole, like a bat, like a metal bat, pretty much, with 13 screws welded to it. That was my birthday present from my dad. A metal pipe with 13 screws welded. I think you've seen it. You see, I showed you.
yep,
Wild, man. Like that was the household that, like, before. Well, he wasn't there long, but I mean, that's what I grew up with. He was in and out of my life, right? Because my mom was single. He moved out with the 22-year-old that he cheated on my mom with, and at that time, man, came home, found out that my mom was cheating on him. Came home drunk with a knife, chased my mom around the house, trying to stab her. I was standing at the top of the stairs, kicks me in the chest, said it was a mistake because I was trying to tell him to stop. Fell down the stairs and broke my rib. My own father, man. He's not my dad. Fuck you, man. You're not my dad. No. My mom was my mom and my dad at the one. And thank God. I mean, she's a beautiful woman. I wouldn't be where I
yeah.
am without her, man.
But some kids aren't as fortunate.
No.
It's truly sad
Hmm.
that children have to deal with any form of abuse or mistreated or being brought up the way that some of these kids do. And
Yeah, it's sad,
that
man.
really sets them up, just like me, because I went through it. It set me up with years of depression, anxiety, abandonment issues, you name it.
Not just that too, for failure, bro. That thing, when that happens, you think half of either you're gonna deal with it, or you're gonna go down the bad route, and end up doing stupid shit.
Yeah, but again, whatever it is that we the hands that were dealt in life, whether it's your fault or not, it's still your problem.
Yeah,
And it's still something that you need to deal with regardless if it was your fault.
100%.
And only you're the only one that can deal with it.
Yep.
Right. So now it's up to you on what you choose to do going forward with what happened
Yep.
and not saying, poor me. Yeah, we feel bad that this happened to you 1,000,000%. But how long are you going to sit in that to make that as an excuse for you to live the way that you're living?
Yeah. We're not gonna feel sorry for you because you feel sorry for yourself.
But the biggest thing, especially with you guys, man, is just finding that source or finding the resources to help you navigate through these things,
Hmm.
right? And the biggest one, like we said, is the ego. You lose the ego and you just reach out because we don't want, why we're doing this show is we don't want to see you guys get to that point where that backpack you is just too heavy now for you to carry.
Yeah.
We don't want that. Nobody wants that.
And if you're feeling like that, reach out to us. You know.
1,000,000%. At least what we can do is try to relieve at least a brick or two out of that backpack,
Yeah, man. Exactly.
just to make it a little bit lighter for you to walk out your front door tomorrow and another day, and maybe take that ease off you a little bit,
Yeah.
you know. And but then it's out after you walk out that door. It's up to you now to start working on dropping that weight of that backpack. Stop adding weight to your own backpack because that's what you guys are doing,
Yeah.
right? Figure out how to get that weight off your shoulders. Start living for yourself. Take care of yourself first.
Number one, man. Number
Number
one.
one is you. You can't possibly be the best version of yourself and be the best in your job and as a father and as a husband if you're not the best internally and mentally, right?
It's true.
It's
100%.
impossible.
So true.
You need to look at yourself in that mirror and tell yourself that it's okay to not be okay, but it's not okay to stay in it.
Figure that shit out.
Suck it up. Look at, find that person, find a counselor, whatever, whoever it may be, where you're able to release that some of that off your chest. Because the more you carry that, the more you're gonna fall down, and the more you're gonna struggle, and you're gonna end up not being able to ever be present in the moments with your loved ones and your children because you're just running on autopilot. The, you'll never be able to live in the moment. I failed to live in the moment I missed 20 years because I didn't know how to live in the moment because I was so fucked up. I was so depressed. I was so sad. I was so lonely. And that's all I could focus on. I couldn't focus on playing at the water park with my kids. I was there, but I wasn't there,
Yeah.
you know. And
Autopilot.
that's the thing is, I cruised on that autopilot like most men do.
Yeah.
You're on autopilot every day you wake up. But
You know
now
what?
it's time now to take back those controls. Turn that autopilot off and take your life to a whole new elevation and destination.
Yeah, man. You know, a lot of people out there, they got to find their why. That's what it is. The why. Why you do what you do. Why you get up every day, go to work, bust your ass, and provide. Your why is your children. My why is my daughter. That's why we do what we do. That's why we're still here on earth.
Yeah, and find a purpose.
Yeah.
Shoot for something, you know? A
100%.
man a man with no purpose distracts himself with pleasure.
Mhm.
Is
Yeah.
you got to find a purpose in your life. Being a dad, amazing. Being a husband, awesome. But find a purpose. What is it that drives you? What is it that you think about every day that you would love to do or that you haven't done yet?
Passion, man. What
Your
you're passionate
passion.
about. Yeah, definitely.
Find it. And that is the hardest part is finding out what that is. Because I've
Yeah.
had conversations with friends at work and like I wish I had something and I wish and that's all I hear, but they don't know what. They don't know what. And I get it because but you got to find things that interest you. Find whatever it is, and even start doing things that you didn't even think that you would want to do.
Yeah.
Because once you do them, because you never know until you try. Everyone's heard that, and that's it's facts, And
Yeah. Yeah.
then you're like, "Holy shit, I actually really enjoy this." And then boom, look at the direction that's taking you now, and the people that you've just met,
It's true.
and you know what I mean. And if it wasn't for you not doing that, then you wouldn't have done this, and then you wouldn't have done that.
Mhm.
It's just trying new things, getting out there, especially when you're in that mind state of depression, and is finding those things, those small wins, and just to pull yourself up a little bit each day. You're not going to get rid of that pain overnight,
Hell no.
and it is a hard battle. But if you fight that battle, how you feel on the other end of that, I can't even words to explain that. And you never even thought that you could get to that point, but you have to put in that work. You don't have a choice.
Be a
People
fucking
need
warrior, man.
people need you here. People are counting on you,
Yeah.
right? People want to see you smile.
Yeah.
People want you in the moment to be present. People want to be around you. It's I tell you, man, it is the one of the hardest things is coming out of that mind state of feeling like I didn't want to wake up the next day, or
Mhm.
you guys not wanting to wake up the next day, is to come from that and to get out of that. Man, it's one of the hardest battles you'll ever have to fight, but it is the battle that you want to fight and you need to fight.
And you're gonna feel the best after it too.
And when you win that battle,
Yeah.
you're on top of the world,
Yeah.
because anything else after you win that battle with yourself, and you win that battle with that depression, the anxiety, and you start coming out of that on the other end, as life goes on and you hit all these other roadblocks and bumps in the road, as we all will and do, is you can look back and be like, this is nothing. Man, if I can get through what I went through then, this is a piece of cake.
Mhm.
I can get through anything. And it makes you stronger, and it brings up your self-worth and you know what I mean, and your self-confidence
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
and your self-esteem, because a lot of the times that when we're sitting in this state of depression and sadness, that's because we don't have any self-esteem. We just get so hard on ourselves, especially as men.
Yeah.
you know
True, man.
we feel like failures. We have no self-esteem, no self-confidence. Nobody wants me, no one wants to see me, like, you're just that's the battle we have with ourselves,
Yeah.
because we're so hard on ourselves as men. But
Well, that's why we try to do this, right? We try to push all this content out there and show that true strength is fucking reaching out, is talking to people, getting a counselor. That's real strength. Don't hold it in. It's Men's Mental Health Month, man. You know, if you haven't done it, have you been thinking about, reaching out? Do it. God, I see a counselor every Wednesday.
good for
You
you,
know,
by the way. I'm proud of
Thank-
you.
thanks, man. You know, so it's it's life changing. Especially, actually, I just want to bring this up before I know it's getting close to the end here. I just want to bring this up as well. What you read about, Buddy's cousin taking he took his life and committed suicide. A big thing for that too is grief counselor. I did a grief counselor. It's kind of funny because the grief counselor said, "You pretty much know more about death than I do. I don't even know what to say." She's like, I was at home looking up, trying to figure out what to talk to you about, and pretty much you're the one schooling me, which is sad. It's That's crazy. You know, I like I shouldn't be like that. No one should be like that with all the death, right? But I mean, it is maybe that it's happened to me, and this is why I'm trying to give it out to the rest of the world and try to help others. Maybe this is my calling. This is my passion. Definitely, I know this is yours and your clothing line. This is why we do this. We found our passion and we have our whys.
Yeah, but you know what,
So I
man?
mean,
It took me
mm,
40 plus years to find it. But you know what?
I mean, look how,
I'm
yeah,
grateful that I found it. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And some
and it
people
comes
never
like,
do.
yeah, and it comes any other way. Like we said, you just got to find it. I mean, look how it became because Jules passed away, and that sparked the start of this beautiful relationship me and you have here with the podcast. Because of that, and like we said before, after my fiance passing away, that was the lesson. This is the lesson now, to help others, and this is what we want to do. You know, and it'll come some way somehow, but it'll show up. It's just a matter of you got to look for it. Like what's that video? I seen it a bunch of times on I think Facebook or Instagram, where it's the red car effect, where I tell you how many, like, say, how many cars did you see today? You don't know. But if I told you look out for the red cars, you would look out for the red cars. You got opportunities coming by you all the time. All the time. It's just you don't see them, right? You gotta keep your eyes peeled and see these opportunities because they life changing, either good or bad. But
It's true.
yeah, man.
But the biggest thing is getting to the point of your life where you have that clarity so you can see these opportunities that come by as well.
Yeah,
Right?
it's not cloudy.
Is and your mind's not cloudy, right? So
Yeah,
yeah, but you know what? If you guys are new to the show, we thank you for tuning in this week. We
yeah,
are here every week. We are Raw Minds, the podcast on men's mental health. Um, like a couple of our listeners that wrote us today, we want to thank you personally, and we are truly sorry for what you guys are going through and had to deal with. Our thoughts and prayers go out to you guys, and we appreciate you reaching out to us to share that with us and allowing us to share that. Um,
yeah.
like I said,
That
if
was
you guys
big.
are new, yeah, that was
Yeah,
huge.
yeah, yeah.
It takes a lot,
Appreciate that, man.
and like I said, if you're new to the show, please, if you just need to talk, you don't know which way to turn. You if you're in that state of mind that we were talking about of you don't feel like you want to wake up tomorrow, especially reach out. You know, we do what we can. That's all we can. We're just here as a support system,
Mhm,
right? Because we've lived it. We've lived we've lived our entire life basically in turmoil and trauma and abuse and you name it.
mhm.
We've lived it. So reach out, Raw Minds Podcast at gmail.com. Please check us out. Um, Again, it's men's mental health awareness month, but we got to keep this rolling past June.
Yeah, it's every month, bro.
You need to be aware all the time. We
Yeah,
we need to make this awareness every day.
yeah.
You know,
That's what we do.
mental health is a huge problem and a huge issue in our society, and it's not talked about enough. So maybe we can be just a couple of guys that help bring that awareness out just a little bit more. So, and on the side note, please check out my fitness clothing line, ironmenace.com. I got some new girls merch coming out, I think next week. So yeah, check that out on the side. I'm also a big into the fitness myself, and just fitness motivation, and just trying to just it's all tied in. I just want to help people.
Yeah, man.
You know, motivate, help people. So reach out again if you guys are, even if you guys want us to talk about something or even like a topic. Yeah, we're all open ears for that. Or
Hit
if
us up.
what, like Jason here, or if you want to come on the show, and if you feel like that's something that you want to do, we'll chat with you, outside of the show, and we'll put you on. And if you feel like you want to, maybe there's something that you can share that might be able to help other people, then we would love to have you.
Yeah, pass that on.
You know what I mean? So on that note, I will say, if you can't find good people, be good people.
I do want to say, man, I just want to give some props to Justin. We are live on TikTok. Every recording we are. Justin, we love you too, man. Thank you so much. This is why we do these things for the people. Um, you know, it's tough, man. Fuck, it's tough. Life sucks sometimes, man. It doesn't always suck, but it sucks sometimes. So, this is why we do it. We do it to show that, we go through shit. I'm dealing with shit every day. Joey's dealing with shit every day. Everybody's dealing with shit every day. It's just a matter of, how you deal with it. So, anyways, on
Facts.
that note, it's Men's Mental Health Month. We'll be doing some good episodes coming up for this surrounded men's mental health. That's what our podcast, but it's going to be even more coming up. So enjoy, man. Have some fun. Hit us up. You want to come on, talk like Joey says? We'd love to have you on. Even if you just want to come on and bullshit, no problem. We're here. We'll bullshit with you. We'll make it a bullshit episode. Anyways, on that note, thank you guys. We love you. Be good or be good at it. Bye.